we have done. JTIs are the best try how to switch from project financing to a program financing and to get a bit more this logic of how this public-private partnership can in reality work. Of course, it's new, and of course we know that we have hit some questions of are our rules the best, or should we modernize them, and so on. But that's how the life goes. So we are ready to go ahead to look at the situations where we see that they should be improved. But I think it's fair to say that that at least we try to do an honest job.
Professor Winckler.
So, of course, I mean, it is granted there's also competition with respect to the thematic cooperation and other projects. But if I look into the journal and to the most highly cited papers and see how many people cooperated in order to produce the most highly cited papers, of course, that varies very much with respect to the subject. So in mathematics, I think you rarely find more than 2 or 3 people working together. And of course, in other fields, for example, in fields of medical research, you have huge teams up to 15, 20, and so on. But when you look at now to the framework program, you will see that sometimes you are forced to come up with a project group of more than 100. So the question is whether there's too much, let me say, too much emphasis on cooperation. And the question is how we can reduce that degree of cooperation in order to produce more excellence. That's my first point. And the second point is, of course, that this thematic collaboration goes along with very bureaucratic procedures. John already said, you are demanded to say what you're going to do in 3 months on Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. So with respect, let me say, to all that, so we need simplified rules. I know you have been very much in favor of simplifying rules, but the question is, did you really succeed?
The question is if all the member states have succeeded also. But anyway, no, I agree with both points that you made. As much as my knowledge is, we request 3 partners, but of course that are specific cases where the things might be exaggerated. So certainly the idea is not to overburden, but I'm never a kind of dogmatic in protecting the things which we do. Far from that. I think we should look, and if something is wrong, let's change it. About the bureaucratic procedures, just one sentence. Please, we live in Europe. So that is, we can go further, but it's not on the Commission. It is on the Member States, it's on the European Parliament, it's on the Court and the Commission together to agree how to go. I would be the first to sign anything which would potentially simplify what we do. But don't forget that, for example, if you would make a kind of very serious simplification in-house nowadays, if you would change, for example, from full cost system, which we have, to, I don't know, result-oriented system. Even now, we manage still some FP5 with different rules, FP6 with different rules, and FP7 with different rules. And on the top, if we add something else which would be divert from full cost, then we would have at least for 5 years a total mess in-house. But we would probably need to survive that. So my intention in these 5 years was simply create conditions in which we would be able to manage more money than we are. And that's why we go to the direction of 2 executive agencies, where we divert more the substance from the management point, and this will be fully operational in the mid of the year. I think if we will go with this philosophy ahead, then we will constitute the basics for major simplification in the future. But simplification, it's an ongoing process which one has to do on a day-to-day basis if one wants to really achieve some results. But if you ask me if I'm happy, yeah, it could be better, but it could be also worse.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you've all earned a coffee break. We've come to that time. I want to thank our panel. We've started our journey looking out to the world, and we've come back home to look at European bureaucracy, but this has a familiar theme in any Brussels debate, and it's not entirely avoidable. I would ask the persons who are joining the Innovation Board please to enter the room on the left. Everyone else will have coffee and refreshments served out the back, and you will resume in workshops at 12 o'clock. Thank you very much indeed.